Finland is spending 62 million tons annually on CO2 emissions. The global shipping industry is doing 20 times the same amount. That's 3% of all global emissions in the world. That's more, in fact, than the whole airline industry is producing at the moment. At the same time, 90% of the global trade is done by ships. Ships dominate the world, and it's $1 trillion industry, which is obviously doing a lot of the emissions in the world. In this industry, Eniram is a pioneer. We created the energy management market, and today are leading it with being a global market leader with 250 installations and saving $50 million of fuel on the vessels around the globe. Big vessels, where we do the savings, container vessels, cruise vessels, LNG vessels, they spend on average 20,000 tons on fuel each year. That equals to 60,000 tons in CO2. In money, that's 10 million per year per vessel. We, as a company, have identified through practice that you can save 10% of this. Not by building new vessels, not by having to change the design of the vessel, but just basically by altering the way the human operates the vessels. It's about figuring out on board the vessel how you should run the engines at the right configurations. What is the best speed for every single situation? What is the route you should choose for every different weather situation? What is the hydrodynamical position of the vessel that makes the vessel go as smoothly through the water? By doing this, 10% can be saved. In 2005, when we founded Eniram, we did not know that. We have learned it by creating and stumbling into an opportunity by starting in 2007, doing installations, collecting data, putting platforms on board the vessels, and through that identifying, then proving, and finally creating an energy management market. Today, we are 75 people. The people are mainly in Helsinki, but our business is obviously around the globe. We are, as mentioned, optimizing 250 vessels as we speak. It's 250 of the biggest and baddest vessels which are out on the global seas. Names like Carnival Cruise Lines, Royal Caribbean, BG, Maersk, Hapag-Lloyd, COSCO, Vanhai, you name it. The biggest operators in the world have started one by one using our technology to improve their vessel operations. We are collecting over 1 billion signals per day as we speak. 1 billion signals to create an unparalleled view of what's really happening both on board the vessels as well as on the seas. Data is really our passion. We are a data analytics company. Our customers' passion is not data. They care just about one single number, and that's the savings. How many percentage of savings we can provide them. Today, we are saving on average 2%. With the latest generation of technology, we have managed to increase that to 5%. And by identifying and looking through the data, we see that in the future we can save on average 10% on each vessel. Of course, we are doing some revenue as well. 10 million euros is what our size is today. It's a nice start, but obviously the market at the size of roughly 4 billion at the moment, it's much bigger. And the key thing is the environmental impact. Today, 50 million of savings per year. That translates to 200,000 tons of CO2. That's the same amount than 40,000 cars produce each year. How do we do it? How do we bake our cake? Well, our raw material is obviously data. So we collect a lot of data. We start by putting sensors on board vessels. We integrate into vessel systems. We complement the information we collect from on board the vessel with a lot of different databases. We combine over 20 different weather forecasts to provide an accurate picture of what's happening outside on the world. We build different kind of databases where we really combine all that knowledge we collect from the vessels where we have installations. This highest quality of raw material is really important for us. That provides us with the quality. But the raw materials as such is not what you like to eat. The key to us is baking the cake, and that's the preparation part, and that's where we are the best in the world. It's the analytics side of things. It's about then taking that data and doing statistical modeling on that data, using machine learning methods to provide simulation and prediction and finally optimization. Data and insight, the technology is, of course, the key thing we are as a company, but that does not yet provide the savings to our customers. The savings is how we adapt the technology then into practice. And that's where it quite often gets difficult. Shipping and ships are a crude environment, and adapting advanced analytics into that environment is not always easy. So that's where we created a layer of different kind of ways to convert the technology into actions. We have our own captains going on board the vessels. We have dashboards on the shore side. We have traffic lights on board every single vessel. We have data streams, enrichments, you name it. Everything you can to use data to change the way the human behaves and eventually save money. And then, of course, the money part saving. It comes through the actions. By optimizing the vessel trim, by optimizing the vessel route, by optimizing the speed, the engine efficiency, the hull of the vessel, overall performance, and through that saving a lot of money. $200 billion is spent on fuel on vessels each year. That's 3% of the CO2 of the whole world. With our technology, we can save 10% of that. That's 20 billion and would count to 0.3% of the global emissions. Thank you.